Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I'm the little twink known as Dark Match Steve, your own personal boy toy. Someone to jerk you off, even if your dick is soft. Your own personal boy toy. Someone to suck your cock. What rhymes with cock? You don't have to come in a sock. The fuck's wrong with me? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How's it going? This is Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve. Sorry for the little delay, guys. You know what we got going on right now is, which should have been the subject for tonight's stream if I already didn't have the thumbnail and everything already set for what we're doing tonight. Tonight we're going over the Bubba the Love Sponge interview with Anthony Cumia, returning back to radio. How about that shit? But subject matter for tonight almost was Twitter getting hacked by Ukraine. And guess what? Guess what that means? Zelensky made it so that I could not stream tonight. It's Zelensky's fault. What is my fucking camera doing? Do I need a new camera? Hello? Focus, please. I need a new camera. Okay, well, there's that. So yeah, I'm not on Twitter tonight. I'm not streaming on Twitter because they got fucking cyber attacked, hacked or something. I noticed Twitter wasn't working right this morning, and I wondered if I got in trouble or something because but anyway, one time when I got kicked off of YouTube, it basically acted all glitchy and stuff, and then nothing would refresh. And then I realized like 2 days later that I got deleted from YouTube. That was, a few years ago. But yeah, so I thought maybe that's what happened on Twitter today. It didn't work this morning properly. And then I scrolled past a video on Twitter about an hour ago with Elon Musk talking about that they got hacked or something. I don't know, but right now I should be on Twitter streaming, but I'm not. That's supposed to be my third destination. Let me try clicking it and see if it'll let me do it. No, it's not letting me go live on Twitter. Twitter, you fucking scumbags. Okay, well, anyway, let me say hi to the chat and we'll get started here. What's up, guys? Fucking Stacy's up in here. God damn you, Twitter. The Fat Pig. What's up, guys? Bob Cook. Oh, Scott Starbird. What's up, bro? I barely caught the tail end of your stream. And I caught like the last 2 minutes, and I was too busy to even get in the chat until right before you logged off. Yeah, I'm going to have to go rewatch your stream after I get off of here. Well, what's up, Scott? How's it going? Yeah, no, Bubba's going to be on Tim Pool tomorrow night, I guess. So we're going to have a very Bubba-centered stream for the week. Going to have at least 2 nights talking about straight Bubba stuff. So we'll see about that shit. I got the Bubba hat. I got the Bubba shirt. I'm wearing a Bubba thong right now, if you guys can believe it. Bubba cock ring, too. Because I like to stay hard during the stream. Fuck this camera, man. What the fuck? This camera worked pretty well for a while. I don't know what. I haven't dropped it or anything. And now it's doing this thing where it constantly is like zooming in and out. And I didn't notice it until I did the live stream cold plunge yesterday. I noticed, I was like, what the fuck is the camera doing? Michael Earl's up in here. What's up, guys? Airplane Willie. Is Tim Cast live with Bubba? That's going to be tomorrow night, right? Guess it's not hard to tell. I don't watch that show. Who? You don't watch Tim Pool's show? Yeah, I don't. I don't watch Tim Pool's, full show. I see clips of him here and there, but I don't really follow Tim Pool at all. And guys, we cover the tenant media thing in here. I don't know what to think. I hear him like I haven't seen the tweets or heard Tim Pool say it. I'm not exactly sure what I've seen actually, but I know there's some whisperings, and I think it's mainly what I've seen is Destiny claiming that Tim Pool says he's going to sue him or hints that he's going to sue him for covering the tenant media story. I don't know what to think about that whole thing, man. We talked about it on here. I'm pretty sure Tim Pool kind of just got set up, him and the other people that were involved in the whole thing. Doesn't look really great regardless, but yeah, man, I don't know. Let me get through. Dutch Duke up in here feeling slutty. Me too. I have no pants on, just a Bubba Army thong right now. Where is Pat O'Brien? He'd love to hear what kind of thong I'm wearing. Big E's up in here. What's up? What's up, Big E? How's it going? Hacking group Dark Storm has claimed they did the attack. Dark Match Steve is a victim of the Dark Storm. Here I am, not able to stream on fucking Twitter. Scumbags. Jolly Holly. Thomas Gilson. What's up, guys? So I hope Bubba Army people aren't too, it's not too much of like regurg or something. We're gonna watch probably the majority of the Bubba interview with Anthony Cumia. I wanted to cover that on the stream, partly to, it's more channels promoting Bubba, more Bubba talk on here. I figure it won't hurt. I mean, it was Friday, right? Bubba interviewed him Friday. So I figure, most of the people that were going to see it on Bubba's channel have probably seen it by now. Oh, Iggy, what's up? Iggy's up in here. How long until we make a wonderful centerpiece again? I don't know. When's yeah, I guess I'll be doing one probably for what's it called? Thanksgiving. Whoa, I had a brain fart. I was thinking Indians, pilgrims, fucking turkey. For Thanksgiving, I'll probably be making another one. I found my mom's cornucopia thing, which I could not find last year. But yeah, I should be doing a Thanksgiving one. Grando Reaper's up in here. What's up? Wife ultrasound went good. High risk, so I can't get my dick wet for a long time. What are you talking about? Well, I'm glad your wife's okay. I'm sorry about the dry penis. Good luck with that. Easter centerpieces? No. What do you? No. Only Easter centerpiece I'll do is like I'll make a crucifixion Jesus or something. I don't know. Put Jesus's corpse in the center of the table. All right, guys, let's get to where should we start? So Bubba did this was supposedly, I think I have the timestamp. It was around 2 hours to I think I had it was 2 hours and 3 minutes in my head saved as a timestamp. Where is this? Okay. Yeah, 2 minutes and 3. Let's back it up to here. So, any of you wanting a little bit? I'm not that familiar with Anthony Cumia. Grando Reaper, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Yeah, guys, please hit the like on the stream. You know, I put in work on here, so I do need support. Oh, fucking X those out. Okay. Oh, Tina's up in here. What's up, Tina? Bub Army Mom has entered the chat. Everybody behave or you get a spanking. All right, let me bring this up for you guys. So this Anthony Cumia, who he has been blackballed from radio. He was part of Opie and Anthony, and he's been sort of blackballed. He's gotten in trouble for a few different things. A similar what is this? What is this? Oh. Sorry, StreamYard got some update, and there's just a couple things threw me off here. Where am I going to go? Down here in the corner? Thomas Gilson, thank you, sir. I thought I felt something back there. Okay, I'll full screen this. So yeah, Bubba has also been blackballed from the radio, and Bubba is celebrating this with and for Anthony Cumia getting a spot back on terrestrial radio after being blackballed for a while. Bubba, at this point, Bubba does not need radio. Any of the people that watch his show is familiar with Bubba's show, had been keeping up with it. You know that Bubba does not need the fucking radio at this point. It's just a thing that I almost said obsessive compulsive type of thing, but it's just Bubba wants back on the radio as well. And it's sort of like, I get it. I'm not talking shit about him. He doesn't need it though. But Bubba does want to get back on a real FM station, a big station in Tampa. He's been blackballed for various reasons and unjustly to some regard at least. So he's he's happy for Anthony Cumia, and Bubba, I know, is just like he's feeling like he might have. Well, I don't know. Earlier today, he was actually saying that's probably not likely they'll ever get back onto a large station. And I guess the people at Clear Channel have been telling Bubba that you are completely blacklisted. There's no way you're getting back onto any station associated with Clear Channel and stuff. But, anyway, Bubba's happy for Anthony Cumia here because he's seeing someone live out, his dream or aspiration of getting back into radio after being blackballed for all this time. And we all know, guys, we're not just, drinking the Kool-Aid here in the Bubba Army. We know if Bubba got back onto the radio in Tampa, he would absolutely dominate any of these fucking stupid shows. I can't even tell you what is on. Is probably AI at this point. I don't know what is going on the radio. I don't fucking care. And neither should Bubba, because he doesn't need it anymore. He's too popular. He's too cool. He's going on Tim Pool. He's all over the place. He did the Eric Andre show. What the fuck do you even need an FM station for? Tell him to pack sand. I think Bubba just wants to be offered a contract so he can tell him to pack sand, cuzzo. All right, so yeah, let's get into this shit. Anthony Cumia back on the radio. He just had his first day, I guess. What? Sunday? Is he on the weekend? I think that's what they were saying earlier today. Let's check this out.
FM repeaters, 98.3, 96.7, and AM 820, and you combine all those, we could literally have like a 5 share. Men 18 plus. And people are like, oh my God. Bubba and Seth and the guys that they got, they got a 5 or 6 share. But we don't know because they won't keep score for us. So, but if we were like, on 98 Rock or 98.7 or some sexy signal that's being one that's very powerful and is very well distributed in the marketplace. 2, it probably, Lummy, any radio station if we would ever get an opportunity to go back, it would probably be a station that we've already been to.
Yeah.
So there would be a great story in itself, Bubba's returning. And then secondly, we would be rated. And thirdly, I know the market.
Fucking Sniz. What's up, lover? Did you just get in here? I don't think I saw you earlier. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining us. We're just checking out this little clip. This is part of Anthony Cumia's first broadcast back onto radio. We're just going to look at this little clip of that, which is part of a clip from Bubba's show. We are 3 times recycling content here. Very, very standard for a streamer right now.
Marketplace. I know the morning drive landscape of Tampa, Florida, and we would kill it. There's no stupid games. Well, except on Thursdays when
Iggy. Thank you, guys. Let's go. We need to get that. We need to get my like button to 1K before 2028. Motherfucker. It won't take that long. No, fucking Iggy. I've met on my streams. I've gotten, oh, well, not 1K likes. Never mind. I was going to say I got 1K likes, but I got, no, there's some streams I broke 1,000 views with my tiny little grassroots stream here. Guys, help me get to 1K before I'm dead, before my corpse rots and ends up worm food.
baby faces here, but I'm just saying, like, our show with the with Dan and Jay and Gene and Tuttle and Brian and us, the Lummy and Seth and me, we put together a better show than anybody. And we've grown digitally so well that we don't need a huge Tampa blowtorch to pay the bills, but it would be nice to have one.
That's, you can't argue with that. It would be nice. I have to say, guys, I feel like people have stopped listening to radio as much. I feel like standards for content has gone way up, and this is part of the reason why no one gives a shit about radio stuff anymore. The little bit of radio that I catch in Tampa, which has mainly been places that I've worked at, where they have Q105 or whatever the fuck playing. And, dude, it is fucking pathetic. I worked at this flower shop in Tampa, and I don't know how long ago, I don't know if Schnitt is MJ Schnitt, fucking Bubba's ex arch enemy, the pubic afro bonnet wearing dwarf. That guy, he was on the Q105, what I think that was the number. And that was Bubba's rival from back in the day. I had to listen to parts of this show in the morning at this flower shop that I listened to, and they would keep it on the station all day. I guess one time the shop they won a contest, this shop that I worked at, where they got, I think it was the lunch thing, where you got your lunch paid for, and Q105 comes down to your place of business and they buy you lunch or something. I don't remember. They won something from this radio show, so it automatically bought them loyalty, basically, to forcing the employees and customers that walk in, subjecting them to shitty radio content and stupid fucking songs that if you ever wanted to listen to in a million years, you just go look them up yourself on YouTube, okay? So we all had to be subjected to this because they won whatever fucking stupid contest. Now, I would be forced to listen to MJ and whatever fucking circus freaks he had on his show. They were so fucking annoying. The one's name was Froggy. It's radio shows, with the exception of Bubba. Obviously, I'm not talking about Bubba here. All other fucking radio that I hear is the most cringe, fucking politically correct, fucking just like try to not cross a line and make everyone happy and I'm so fucking sick of it. The fake laughing and fake emotion. Bro, MJ's show is the worst fucking shit I've ever heard. It is so atrocious. It is so fucking disgustingly cringe. I can't believe that anyone actually listens to that. It's so fucked up. It's crazy how Bubba's show was actually like a radio show. It doesn't even, no other shows deserve to be in the same category as a Bubba or a fucking Howard Stern. Most radio shows fucking suck, dude. It's fucked up. Bubba does not need it, and I feel like he's better off if maybe he did leave it all behind. But I get it. I'm not talking shit about Bubba, but it's just like, Bubba, you are on a whole nother platform. No pun intended there. But you're like, I meant, you're on a whole nother tier of entertainment value. You're way past there are people on radio. I feel like people that are just doing a radio show, they're fucking cringe. And I feel like most of it is terrible. And it takes advantage of the fact that it's audio only because they're just so completely if you had to look at them while they did the show, you'd be 10 times as bored.
And so one of the greatest of all time in the city of New York has been busting his ass digitally. And he's been, pretty much banned for whatever reason in New York radio. And finally, somebody in New York gives this guy an opportunity. And even though it's an AM station, and we're on an AM station, 77 WABC in New York is just a legendary radio station. And it just gets it's in market number 1. And Anthony Cumia has a big enough name to get a ton of headlines when somebody believes in him and gives him an opportunity to come back into the marketplace. And here was the opening of his show last night. And Lummy, it's almost the same story that is played out in my life.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Hey,
I'm going to slow it back down.
Real quick, how would you find the answer in all this data?
You get Sasfaya.
Sasfaya? Wow, I'm going to fucking slit my throat.
Yeah. You've got to
Okay.
be kidding me. Yes, the Anthony Cumia show. That's me, Anthony Cumia. We're back on broadcast radio. Who the hell saw this coming on that proverbial 2025 bingo card everyone's talking about? I sure didn't. I wasn't looking for a job. I just doing what I did. My internet show.
Check.
Playing video games, lounging, a lot of sleep.
Well, not so much that, but.
And then I get a call.
I'm playing my soccer game on my phone while I'm pooping.
From the wonderful people at WABC Radio in New York. And they'd like me to do radio, on the air broadcast radio. And I'm like, are they crazy? Is this a joke? I've been
much like Lummy, if we got a call from one of the big sexy guys.
Yes, here in Tampa.
exiled.
There you go. Let me just listen. This is what he has been. This is the same thing that's happened to us.
I've been exiled from radio, persona non grata, as they say, for many, many years. And I certainly wasn't expecting to ever get back. I thought this was a life sentence when you're kicked off of broadcast radio.
Again, Lummy, exactly.
Yep.
I feel as if I've been kicked out of Tampa radio for the rest of my life. This is a life sentence for me.
That seemed to be it.
Lummy, the last time we broadcast was 2016.
Yes.
So it's been
9 years.
9 years.
Wow.
Since we've been on one of the big boys. And Bruce, please don't think that I'm being disrespectful, because I'm very thankful for what you have given me and continue to give me. But I feel very Anthony Cumia like when it comes to how I'm being dealt. I've been told by I have a friend. I'll just say I've been told that I'll never work for Clear Channel ever again, from a guy that makes those decisions. Like, stop trying. Like, let me, anytime something good or something like happens, I'll always send it to him. And he's a friend of mine, and he's finally said, Bubba, stop trying. Stop bugging me with this stuff. You will never, ever sniff Clear Channel. You are so blackballed over here that you will never work here again.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Did you know there was a guy from Did you know that there was a guy from San Diego? You might be able to look it up. Did you know there was a guy from San Diego? He was this big time radio talk show guy. He killed his wife. He went to prison. He did his time.
Oh, it's so funny. So I'm looking on another tab. Pop sniz. That's funny. Funny face, what's up, bro? How's it going? Bubba got big black balls. Yes, funny face. I'm still pissed that those black kids got a podcast before me. Their podcast is only 3/5 as good as mine is, though. So I was looking at another tab because I was looking for this other clip. And it's I'm an idiot. I have watched I have watched some of Anthony Cumia's live show. I just didn't I didn't remember, because I was looking at these other clips and he has a different setup. It's been a while since I've seen his show, but I have seen it. I remember the older setup that he had with the desk, and yeah, this is a few years ago. So it's been a while, but yeah, I have seen his stuff. He is I do like Anthony Cumia.
And then came right back, and when he got back out of prison, he went right back on the air. Did you know that Craig Carlson guy, remember, went and did 3 years in a federal penitentiary for some kind of on-air Ponzi, rip people off their money scheme? Went and did, I think, and there's been a documentary on him, went and did, I think, 24, 36 months in federal prison. And when he got back, had his existing radio show and a television show waiting for him.
Snizzo Slizzer, good point. The term being blackballed has to be racist, does it not? Yeah, so if I get blackballed for being racist, you are racist for blackballing me because you call it blackballing. Let me try to get through Twitter again. Let me see if this will... Guys, I'm hoping I didn't fuck something up because I downgraded my Twitter verification thing. Fucking stupid motherfuckers. Elon Musk, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to let President Zelensky just fucking dick slap you like this? Yeah, guys, I upgraded my I know it shouldn't be it. I don't remember what version of... I think as long as you have any of the blue... If you have a blue check, you're able to stream on Twitter. But I upgraded my blue check thing trying to get better AI stuff for the Kanye video I was doing. But yeah, that didn't even really work out how I wanted it to. But yeah, and I downgraded it over the weekend. I hope that didn't fuck something up.
Now, what did I do?
He's not looking for anything. There were little hopes.
Bob Cook, you haven't seen a podcast from the two kids? What do you mean? I've seen it on there. I haven't listened. I didn't check out their show, but I saw it existed. Or you mean you haven't seen recently? Haven't seen a new podcast from them? Why can't it be white-balled? Very good point, Sniz. Why can't it be brown-balled? Or, well, low-balled. Low-balled is discriminatory against little people. Why can't they just call it getting bald? Kevin Gable over on the fucking Facebook. What's up, bro? How's it going? So they were on there, Bob Cook. I saw it myself. I didn't click on it though. I forget what they broke down, but I remember seeing the description of the podcast along with, right on the podcast. I didn't click, but I was scrolling through seeing what was on there one time. And I remember seeing that they were about some conspiracy type topics. I don't know. So it was up there, but I haven't, now that you mention it, Bob Cook, I haven't seen one recently. Maybe they, whatever, got burned out with it or, I don't know, decided they didn't want to do it. I don't know.
I would have hoped that somebody over the course of the years would have looked and said, hey, what's that Anthony guy doing?
Same thing. I feel like it's the very same thing I would be saying. Thank you, Macho Man. 77 WABC is the same strength as as AM 820.
And WABC, they're the station that did it. I gotta, of course, thank John. And
I guess Bubba, what he was saying there, is he referring to that's the tower or the signal strength for the station that Anthony just got hired back onto. I guess Bubba's saying he is on an AM station as well that's pretty much the same or better signal strength. So, yeah.
Chad over there, and I would be remiss.
So anyway, Lummy, it's the same thing that I feel. Like, what did I do? Let me look for that story in San Diego.
Yeah.
What did I do? Okay, I got into a little ratings conundrum. That didn't even go to court. It got sealed. It got settled and sealed. That's all I can say about it. And the Hogan sex tape. That's what I've done wrong. Is that not forgivable? Am I that big of an asshole? Do people hate me that much that you don't think that if I went right back to Tampa radio with my crew and my ability to host and my infrastructure that we...
Dude, you know what? I just Bubba, some of these radio people must be considering it, right? Bubba has been so fucking successful with going to other platforms. He has to be on people's fucking radar. I mean, I don't see how they could just ignore how Bubba's numbers are just increasing. He's doing better and better. He's got videos that are going random fucking videos going viral and stuff. And the fucking radio ratings bullshit is a gimmick in itself, right? He explained it here. Well, so I cut off the beginning of that part where Bubba was explaining. That's where we jumped into this clip where Bubba was explaining the ratings for radio and how when you're on a radio show for, some bigger company like Cox or whatever the fuck, they pay to get the actual ratings, and there's all these smaller stations and stuff that they don't pay to get the ratings, and so those aren't even being tabulated. And it's sort of like, hold on, let's look this up. How does radio get ratings. My internet's being slow. Okay, let me bring you guys to this page because I was just curious here. Let me bring you guys along because from what I've heard, different radio people describe it that it's almost sort of it's a gimmick in itself. It's almost partly a guessing game with these ratings. Okay, so this is the AI overview. We can read a little more. Um, oh, okay, that's it. Oh, all right. So let's start from the top. The AI overview, which is probably not exactly correct, but they've got citations here. All of these are links to citations, so there's at least that. Radio stations get ratings using a variety of methods, including surveys, devices, and analytics. Surveys, diary surveys, people record what radio stations they listen to over a period of time. Panels, companies like Nielsen, which is, the people that Bubba got into the situation with. Nielsen used panels to gather information about radio audiences. What do they mean by panels? Simple but powerful foundation for growing your listener base. Figuring out your radio station's audience demographics, audience size, and other information is extremely important for branding and improving your station content to reach and connect with your audience. It can be challenging to figure out who your audience is and what they are about, since that information isn't always easily accessible. We've compiled some of the best ways to gather information about your audience below to help you get to know your audience. Main takeaways: radio audience measurement helps you make programming decisions, improve listener experience, monetize your broadcast, and stand out from the competition. Internet radio stations use panels and surveys, analytics data, and website forms to measure audience size. Response error, sample size, and budget are three factors limit radio audience. Measuring your radio audience helps grow stations. Why is that important for radio stations? We know. Make informed. Okay. How do they measure audience? Radio stations use several methods to measure audience size. Internet radio stations rely more on digital tools than terrestrial radio, although both types of stations can use specific tools. Sorry. Some of the most popular methods of measuring radio audience size include analytics, portable people meters, Nielsen meters. Radio listening diaries. These tools can be used separately or together to measure radio audiences. Okay. Let's take a look. Analytics. Because internet radio stations operate online, they can collect analytics data like websites, social media sites do. Your internet radio station can collect real-time data from streaming analytic tools about the size of your audience, what types of devices they're listening on, their location, and other important information. You can also tap into analytics data from your company website and social media profiles. This provides, okay, we know all that. Portable people meters, that's for internet bullshit. We don't know. Portable people meters, Nielsen meters, both internet and terrestrial radio stations track audience sizes using devices called portable people meters or Nielsen meters. A couple of basic radio terms to know. These are device selected groups of sample listeners used to record their listening habits and report the data to media research providers such as Nielsen. PPM devices used to be similar to pages, but today wearables often serve as PPMs. Um Diaries. What the fuck? Who the fuck? See, this is the thing. Who the fuck is even filling these out? And also, this seems like a thing that could. Okay, well, there obviously there are pros and cons to digital data as well. People have fucking click farms and whatever the fuck. But I feel like Bubba's social media stuff, his presence, his YouTube numbers and everything, I feel like that is all on the up and up. I don't see, guys, I don't know the ins and outs of paying click farms and whatever the fuck, but I feel like Bubba, the way Bubba's channel, the kind of views that they get, and how sometimes they'll get a video that gets millions of views. They had a one recently that was about Super Bowl commercials that they were discussing. That one got a bunch of fucking views, like millions. The Janie Cakes zip pop thing got millions, but then they'll have different clips of stuff that get a lot of views, and then they have like a sort of, well, I don't even know what the standard amount of views for their 4-hour show. But yeah, I feel like if Bubba was using, or people in general are using, a click farm or some kind of gimmick for inflated social media numbers, I feel like that is, you'd see like a consistent trend of videos that supposedly get all these fucking views, but no one seems to give a fuck about. Dude, like the kid that Bubba was complaining about, what was his, the Rizzler? That little fucking fatty is a plant. He's a fat little plant. So these meters, though, this is what I'm confused with. Okay, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole that could piss off Bubba, because I don't know if this, I don't know what thing Bubba got in trouble with, but I thought it was related to this stuff. The meters. But I don't know. I was just curious here. All right, let's go back. Panel surveys. Limitations of audience measurement. It can have some limitations that you should be aware of. Don't misinterpret your data. Response error, sample size. Okay, let's see. Response error occurs when a panel or survey participants provide inaccurate information. This can happen accidentally or deliberately. For instance, participants may forget to record their listening activity or feel embarrassed about answering a question. Limited size of a panel, survey group, analytics database. Yeah, so this stuff can be skewed. Survey 1,000 listeners tends to be more accurate than a survey of 100. So, yeah. All right, let's go back. We got to get to this fucking interview. All right, let's go back to this video. I think they're almost done with this part.
We wouldn't go right back to dominating. So let me, I fast forwarded it to a couple spots you told me to.
Okay.
Comes the name.
Your home, your style.
All right, let's go. Let's get over to the actual interview. It's on Bubba's channel. Let's see. Aha.
Yeah, they must have gone.
Oh, this is where I got the thumbnail from. So I have not watched this, but this is the part in the video where I got my thumbnail. Let's bring her back. Bring her back.
As a matter of fact. I think Ant might be in the waiting room, as a matter of fact. Hold on here. Let me turn this down. I think Ant.
Hey,
how are you, my friend?
Good. How are you doing, Bubba?
You know, I am.
Kevin Gable. It was related to this, but I don't believe that he had anything to do with it. Yeah, so I've heard some things. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but I've heard some things that, you know, I don't know. I won't speak on it, but I've heard Bubba takes responsibility for it, but it wasn't Bubba. It's more complicated than people like to think. Same shit with the Hogan thing. You guys know. I mean, it's easy, especially with someone like Bubba, who has kind of played the heel in this town for what, 30 fucking, how long has it been in Tampa? I don't know. For how decades, it's very easy for people to just kind of hear or see the headline and just go, oh yeah, fuck that. Oh, he did what? Hogan what? Ratings what? Yeah, fuck that guy. But there's always little devils in the details, isn't there, guys?
I'm so excited and I'm so proud of you. And this could only happen to a radio station that wasn't owned by the big bad guys who absolutely positively will never give a guy like you or me a chance because we've been forever blackballed for whatever fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a guy that the owner of 77 WABC to say, I don't give a fuck what the industry thinks about Anthony. I don't care about the church deal. I don't care about whatever he said on Twitter. I don't care about how he left Sirius XM. I care about somebody that can be talented enough to move the fucking needle. Period.
Bingo, man. That is exactly what it is. And it took quite a while. You know, I don't like getting too political when it comes to this stuff. Like
sniz. Well, they deserve it. You know, let these guys put each other over. Let them suck each other off for a little bit. They're both been fucking blackballed. Come on now.
Radio and cancel culture, as they called it for many years. But there is definitely some type of change going on in this country. I think it has to do with the past few years, maybe even decade, that people are just tired of it, Bubba. They're just sick and tired of it.
And you know what? Radio,
so many people.
And radio is doing it to itself. Like they are not developing any new talent. You know, when we were, and I hate to be old school, but like when we were in the mix, so to speak, you know, there were the Man Cows, there were the Opie and Anthonys, there were the Howards, there were the Bubbas, there were the Lex and the Terrys, and there was the Todd and the Tylers, and there were these regional guys, and then some globally like you guys. I think at one time you guys had like, I think 21, 22, 23 affiliates doing, and fucking killing it. With Mel's backing and you know, killing it, and there's and they stood behind their talent, and if their talent messed up a little bit, they would issue an apology or maybe give you a day off or you know something like that. But today is like there's no talent out there that can move the needle. They just want to play and all. Have you heard the War of the Roses and all the like the Ricky Smileys and the fucking even Charlemagne the God and all these guys and the fake phone calls, the second date attempts and the just the
bro. This is exactly, and I have not listened to any of this, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. When I was saying earlier that standard radio is so fucking cringe. It's like. It's intolerable. It's so fucking like you can see right through it if you're paying attention. Fake fucking laughs, fake fucking phone calls. Even when Bubba is like, he comes from a bit of a wrestling background too. So, Bubba does works and shoots, but even the works are like they're organic and authentic unto themselves, if that makes any sense. Even when Bubba's doing something that isn't real, It's like it's real in this way that I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, in some cases there's like stuff that is pro wrestling like, but it's like it's not insulting to the audience's intelligence. Like fake fucking phone calls. God.
Bullshit that's out there that quite frankly, I don't know that you or me or the next guy, some of us guys that were on the cutting edge of real radio. Our phone calls were real, our stunts were real, our editorials were real. And I don't know that we'll ever get a chance to work for the big six ever again. I don't.
No, there's no reason to. First of all, everyone has a podcast now. It's hilarious that there's so many people. You could go to a store and literally buy one box, a podcast in a box, and open it up. And now everyone's a broadcaster, Bubba. Everyone knows how to do it. They're all hilariously funny and interesting, aren't they?
Including me. Thank you, Anthony.
It's so fucked up that people think that that's what broadcasting is, and that's what having the talent and knowledge to actually do radio is. When meanwhile, it isn't at all.
That's not radio at all. The form of radio is a lost art, and you and I and Opie and we are kind of the last motherfuckers around. And radio, like Joe Rogan, for instance. Joe Rogan, I had Joe on my show back when we were rolling hard with Sirius XM with you guys in 08, and I had him on. And
dude, yeah, fucking Sniz. Good. Thank you, Snizzle Slizair. This is a perfect example, and I can't believe I didn't even think about it. Fuck it. Here's a great example, Steve. How long did Bubba get away with Ned being a real show member? Guys, that's like this. Sniz, I owe you a milking. This is exactly like what I'm talking about. There are works. Bubba has works on his show where stuff isn't as it's presented, but it's not insulting. Ned was such a good character that even when you found out it wasn't real, you still like played along because it was so much fun to believe this old guy talking about the fucked up shit he would do. Just like Ned's stories and the fucking, the Ned songs and everything. It was just like so brilliant and so entertaining that even when people found out that it was not real, we just played along because it was just that fun. It's like adults watching wrestling that they're like, yeah, I'm not a fucking retarded child that thinks that these people are actually hitting each other with real steel chairs and drawing blood from it. And, you're an adult and you can appreciate it on this one level. This is like the stuff with Ned. It's just like, yeah, it's fake, but it was gold. It was fucking radio gold. And what I feel like, guys, we should feel blessed that we especially the people here in Tampa, but I guess, who I didn't follow Bubba on any of the serious stuff or anything. I've lived in Tampa my whole life. So it feels like I've pretty much listened to Bubba my whole fucking life, but I wasn't like a hardcore fan until like 2010, 2011, something like that. I remember the one job I started working at where we had a radio in the back processing room, and we put Bubba on and just be crying, laughing. And I mean, no other radio shows are like this. I don't give a Howard Stern. And I like Howard Stern. Even to this day, I think he's good. I've never been crying, laughing at Howard or any other fucking bullshit radio show except Bubba.
And he was like, this is when he first started his stuff. And he's like, I would work out just as well, less the language on KLOS in Los Angeles, as I would, doing my own little podcast deal. But KLOS laughed at him. They're like, oh, you can't fucking do it. So it's like, it's, and you're right. Everybody is a broadcaster. No, everybody's a podcaster. There's not a lot of broadcasters left. There's really not.
No. People don't know there's a certain discipline in radio. You could do anything on a podcast. I've seen people that just sit there and have stared into the camera and not uttered a word for a good 2 minutes as they're tinkering with something or reading a chat or trying to
Hey, easy there, Anthony. This is look. Streaming is its own animal, okay? You radio guys, don't judge the streamers, okay? And I granted I am late to the streaming game. I am, but you guys know I'm a natural here. No one sits here watching other people's content eating a plate of spaghetti like I do.
get their cat out of the room.
Yeah.
And that
He's literally describing me. Get my cat out of the room. Sorry, guys, I have to let my cats out.
wash, man. That doesn't wash in radio.
No, nobody knows how to tease. Nobody knows how to set the hook on a high spot going into commercials. Nobody knows the because they didn't sit down with, and I don't know who the earlier.
Yeah, hey, what? Listen, not knowing how to set up a high spot to go into commercials, that is, you know what? I don't know how to do that. But one thing I can say that's a positive is we don't have commercials here on Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve, okay? This is just a complete shit show running amok on the internet. No one would dare run ads on my videos. Let's keep it that way, huh?
Your guys early like mine was Randy Michaels and BJ Harris and
so guys, I probably look when I get monetized, when I finally get enough subscribers to be monetized, I don't know what we're gonna do, guys. Yeah, I am the ultimate thank you, Stacy. I am the ultimate tease. Okay, I'm a cock tease. Unfortunately, that's my only form of teasing. Pat O'Brien in here. Dark Match Steve, baby. What's the longest you have recently gone without pleasing yourself? That's a good question. By some standard. Yeah, so recently I'd say within the past year or so, it's probably only been like a couple days or something. But I don't remember exactly when it was, but this was like a couple years ago. Maybe like 3-4 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But dude, I tried to see how long I could just like go without any of that. And I was single at the time too. I tried to see how long I could go. And I went like a couple months or something. And by the end of it, I forget, it was over a month. I want to say it was around 2 months, but I'm not exactly sure. But at a certain point, I said, okay, I feel like I've proven myself that I know that I could literally, if I wanted to, I could go the rest of my life without doing it. Like I have self-control. I was like, I proved to myself, but also I was starting to feel, I know I might sound crazy here, but I was starting to feel to an extent like I was going to have a heart attack if I didn't just bust a nut. I was really just like, I was like tensed up in this way, and not even like, not emotionally or, like, I don't know. I wasn't like walking around just like pissed off or something, but I was just like seriously felt like I could have a fucking heart attack or something if I didn't like, get rid of that poison.
Some of the J-Core guys and some of the, like, I don't know who some of the program directors that molded you and Opie were.
God damn it, Pat O'Brien. How big was that first load, bro? It was fucking ridiculous. It was good. It was good. It was almost too intense too. Like you went so long, and when I finally did it, it was like full body, like, trance, out of body, astral projection load.
But we had those guys that we sat down with, and they would say like, less of this and more of that, and
right.
and that doesn't fucking exist anymore. Period.
Oh no, everybody knows exactly what they're doing.
And let me ask you, that is a question for you. Who were some of the guys, your early programmers that helped help formulate your guys's, special sauce?
It's really fucked up because
Speaking of special sauce, I had a 2-month-old load.
we only had maybe 2 program directors as Opie and
Think of all the dead sperms in that load. Every load I've been blowing these days, when you keep up with it, that's all fresh stuff. I must have had some some dead swimmers in there.
Anthony on broadcast radio.
That's it.
We had maybe 3. So a lot of these guys, it didn't. And we were so dead set against listening to them because we knew what we wanted to do as far as being, shock jocks. The goal was not to listen to these guys. But
And then,
there
hold
were
on,
a
and, then,
couple
and,
of
then,
guys
and then get on the air and say we're not listening to you, motherfuckers.
Right. That was part of it. That was all part of it, man. So anti-establishment. Fuck the boss. We're gonna go in and steal those concert tickets and give them away on our show.
Fuck that. Fuck our morning guy. Fuck him.
Right. It was all so funny, man. But yeah, there were a couple of guys I respected. But I think it was more the influences I got growing up, listening to radio, listening to Imus. Of course, Howard was a big part of my life when I was not very young, but a young guy working for a living. And you'd listen to Howard on the job sites. And then Bob Grant over on WABC, that old curmudgeonly guy talking politics and telling his callers to shut up.
And then Cousin Brucey doing the top 40 shit, right?
Yeah. The boss jocks, Ron Lundy, all those New York boss jock guys from the music stations. It just was a magic thing. I was like, God, I would love to do that, but I have no fucking idea how to get into it.
And a friend of mine and I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you guys were right there with me. And in actuality, you guys were bigger than me, until we all got to Sirius XM. And then we obviously were just
We were all in the same boat.
Well, we were Howard's bitches at the end of the day. we were who could suck Howard's dick the best, and I think I did it best.
No
until he didn't like it anymore. I was my skill set, but the aspect.
Just let me get a hold of Howard's dick. I'll show you.
Of radio.
I'll show you who sucks dick best.
Doing a show and
that's the last contest you want to be in with Dark Match Steve is a dick sucking contest. Let me tell you.
People don't do that anymore. It's just like it doesn't exist, and we're the last of the dying breed. And I don't want to sit here like an old timer and say, well, fuck, we're never going to get a shot again, because I think that you got an unbelievable opportunity with your 77.
Pat O'Brien, fuck no, man. Would you let Cumia dog you out? No. You mean dig me out? Either way, no. You old balls. Yeah. That ice can't help what? Oh, but the swimmers? The sperms? I don't know. I forfeit, Steve. You are the champ. Oh, wait, yeah, for the suck off contest. Yeah, you guys better.
WABC job to in my opinion, to really as a radio legend like you are. And you are. There's a handful of guys that know how to do spoken word radio. I really think that we're in that, Jim Rome still fuck. Like I think Jim Rome is one of, even though he doesn't do what we do, Jim Rome, as far as, resetting his audience every 90 seconds about his guest and about he has the it factor. He's probably one of the very few guys that still have it. But, I think, and I don't know if this is, and I'm certainly not telling you how to do your business, but I think this could be huge for you. And I know Compound Media has been great to you, and you can do shit in today's world. You can do fucking 3, 4, 5 different things if you wanted to, but I think 77 WABC, I think it might be Sunday nights that you're doing.
Sunday nights, 8 to 10. Yeah.
I think you could turn that into, you could show the big 6 or 7, the Cumulus, the Audacity, the Odyssey, the iHearts, the Cox, the Beasleys. You could be the one old timer that's left that can do radio the way it's supposed to do, to sustain an audience, to hold on to an audience, to have enough shocking elements to keep them around so that your time spent listening is through the roof. And I think that you can take that, if you would want to, and syndicate it in a lot of different places that normally would shy away from, oh, that's Anthony from Opie and Anthony.
Right.
You can't fucking touch that guy. He's bad. He's a cancer. He's bad news. I think, and is that, and as a friend and as a radio guy, is that kind of your mindset as to where you might be headed with this?
Yeah, absolutely, Bubba. We've discussed that over there at ABC. And they have a lot of syndication outlets, and they are psyched to get this started. You know, they're so pumped to get me on there and get this rolling because they see that there is opportunity there, and they see that it is something that has been sorely lacking in radio. You know, people want to get influencers, social media influencers behind a microphone or up on a stage for stand-up comedy and stuff, and it just doesn't work. They've forgotten why people listened to radio.
It's an art. It's an art form to be able to have that audience in your hand, have them on the phone, have them listening to your every word, because it could be shocking, it could not be, it could be affectionate, it could be emotional, it can be all types of different ways, and that. Call Her Daddy or the Jason fucking Bateman or the Conan O'Brien that Sirius XM have given, you know, $100 million deals to, and you opened up with it earlier. That's not fucking radio. It's not.
And I think personality-driven radio is the only commodity left in radio, since if you're a music guy, you have so many different outlets to listen to music.
Yeah.
You could put your own playlist together, your own radio stations together, and hear all day long, not one song you don't like.
Right.
That's how music is. But the only real commodity, the only thing you can't just conjure up and go, well, now we have one of these, is genuine personality-driven radio that's compelling and passionate and fun and interesting, whatever it is. You can't just make that.
Polarizing and make you mad, piss you off, or root for you. And it's something that you can't teach, and you either got it or you don't got it. And so when I saw the signing, by the way, Roger Stone's a great friend of mine, and I called him up, and Roger does nights at 77 ABC, and I called Roger up and I said, hey, my buddy, and
really, Roger does radio? I had no idea Roger Stone does a radio show. Guess I don't follow him close enough either.
Because I called you my buddy, even though we've we've talked a few times. I said, "Hey, my buddy is getting a gig over there." And he's like, "Yeah." And I guess within his little world, he's like, everybody at the station pumped up about it because we got a real radio guy coming over here to do radio. And it's just like back in the day when we used to go against each other. I fucked with y'all. You fucked with me. Bad. And
part of the game.
But it was because of two things. One, because it was part of the game. But the other aspect was because we thought maybe the other dude was doing better than the other dude. So we would be like, man, I heard Opie and Anthony are making $5 million a guy. And so fuck those two. And because we were not insecure, but we knew that the other guy was just as good as we were. So we had to fuck with you. When realistically, I had Opie on years ago. And I said, what we should have done is we should have broke bread and said, hey, listen, let's be each other's buddies here and work together, because we didn't know how fucked up, and none of us knew how fucked up the business was going to get. And it's so fucked up right now. And and I'm so proud of you, because you got a lifeline and a tether into terrestrial radio when nobody else would give you a chance. Nobody would.
No. I mean, persona non grata in the entire industry. I literally had to go down in my basement and build a studio and figure out the logistics of putting a show out to as many people as I possibly could. This was, I'm not the pioneer of podcasting, but when it comes to these video podcasts that everyone has now, it was pretty rare back then. A lot of people were doing pre-recorded podcasts, putting them up, audio only. But, I had a television station in my basement. And then when I got fired from Sirius, it was my lifeboat. Thank God I had that.
Thank God for Compound Media. Thank God for your vision, because you had not Sirius XM money coming in, but a nice base for your audience to come behind a paywall with a way to monetize that. And Compound Media, man, kept old Anthony, going. I mean, it paid the bills.
Hell yeah.
I mean, right?
Yes, it was absolutely a lifeboat. I don't know what I would have done. I got it up and running in a month. You know how quickly you can't disappear. The worst feeling ever was sitting on the beach, as they call it, when a station would get rid of you and you'd have to live out your no-compete, which was sometimes 3 months. Some people signed 6 months no-competes. And you'd have to sit there just knowing every day your fans were finding something else to listen to. And it was torturous. So I wanted to get up and running as quickly as possible. That was 11 years ago. And it worked. I got a large portion of my audience. We turned it into something. I expanded, got a bunch of shows. And then, things like that. It's like anything else. It's like Blockbuster Video. It just something else came out. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has a video podcast. All of a sudden, the competition was crazy.
Yeah,
and
before
people
the
giving
room,
it away for free.
The room wasn't as crowded when you first started. It was actually somewhat wide open, especially for what you do. And then it's been an avalanche. Every motherfucker, like you said, can go buy a Podcaster 9000, and now they can even take calls and all kinds of.
That's the one I got, guys. The Podcaster 9000. It's just a MacBook Pro with a shitty little webcam you get on Amazon and a mic that you bought 20 years ago. That's what I got.
Of bullshit, and it's just like it's really watered down the art. But you know what? Kind of watered down the art of I guess broadcasters. But what I think eventually it will do is people like you and me and Joe Rogan, the people that get it, that know how to do. I think that these fucks that don't know what they're doing, they're going to see that, man, I can't make a living with 234 views. I can't.
Right.
And fuck this. It's gonna end up like that treadmill that ends up being where you hang your clothes on at the end of the day.
Yes, the novelty wears off.
And I think that maybe one of these days it'll kind of reset itself. And I think that you are strategically placing your talent and your abilities. And I think you might be the one guy that could maybe even help a guy like me that's been blackballed by regular radio by saying, look, Anthony took a weekend show on 77 WABC and now has 35, 40, 50 affiliates, on a weekend show. And that people, men 25, 54, men 25, 64, want that type of stuff they used to listen to, not this new shit that they, and like, did you see the money? And we both spent I spent 6 years at XM. I think you spent a little bit more, a little longer.
Yeah, we were there for about 10.
And did you see the kind of money that they gave these like the Call Her Daddies and the Jason Batemans and they gave Conan O'Brien $110 million for his podcast? What the fuck? Conan O'Brien could probably do TV better than you and I. Yeah, granted, but Conan O'Brien can't fucking hold my cock when it comes to radio. I'm just telling you that.
People think it's the same thing.
No,
and it's truly not.
Who's Mike Hawk? And why would Conan hold him?
And like I said, it's a commodity that you can't just invent. You can't pull it out of thin air. If I, and God,
what works? It's doing a great job, Steve. It works, DMS. What? My shitty stream? No, I like doing the stream. I really do. Don't let me get lost in the ocean of podcasts, guys. Don't let it happen. You guys know I do the parody songs. I get on here. We cover interesting stuff. Don't let me drown in a sea of bullshit, the standard bullshit that all of these other fucking podcasts and streamers are fucking doing. Come on, guys. You guys know, you see streams that have bigger numbers than me, and you just it's like indisputable that their show is way shittier. And it's just so wrong. Don't let me drown out here.
Willing, if I get the results that they want me to get at WABC.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, all that falls into place. The affiliates, the syndication, perhaps other hires. They start looking and go, hey, who are these other radio guys?
You better say Bubba, motherfucker. You better.
Yeah. And all of a sudden being canceled, previously canceled, doesn't matter anymore.
No.
Hey, we're making money with this guy. This guy's getting us listenership. He's getting us people to listen for a long time.
Well, and people and listeners are going to gravitate because they haven't heard it in well over a decade. A guy like you, a guy like me,
around,
a guy like whoever, they haven't heard it. Howard, I don't think, and not saying anything bad about Howard. I still get a birthday card from him every year. But I don't think Howard's going to re-sign Sirius XM. I don't think so. It's my opinion.
Could be. Yep. Could be this time.
And what are they going to do? Like, I know that I don't think Jim and Sam are together anymore. Are they?
No, Jim, he left. They lowballed him again. They cut his pay, and he just said, you know what? I'm going to do something on my own. And he's got Jim Norton Can't Help You. It's it's a funny show with guests. I guess he just had Chaz Palminteri on. Does it from his place up in Manhattan. And, it's very funny. They take calls, and people tell certain problems that they have. And then Jimmy and his guests give humorous solutions, which are not solutions, to these problems. I was just on it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it's great. And I'm happy for Jimmy. I love the guy.
Talented dude. And
they were trying to fuck him over there at Sirius, and he said, you know what?
Here's what I understand. If you're at Sirius XM and you're like, okay, Since 2006, we built this model on some really big personalities.
Guys, Twitter, I know I haven't I've been letting this play a little bit because I was starting and stopping and doing a lot of commentary and got kind of late, but I have been trying to get on Twitter. They just let me on. So I guess Twitter must have fixed whatever was happening, cuz it just said I went live on Twitter a good hour and 20 minutes into my stream. We're finally live on Twitter. Thank you, Elon Musk. Rainy's in here. What's up, Rainy? How's it going? Thanks for joining us. We're just reviewing this interview. I didn't watch it yet. I was wanting to save it to break down some of it on the stream and whatnot. Tina, yeah. So my Kanye song is still on Instagram and where? Rumble, it's up there. Not on YouTube. YouTube deleted it, but it's Twitter is where it's doing the best. It has a few thousand views. I got it pinned on my Twitter page. Let me see. Is it still up here? What the fuck? Dude. Hold on a second. Let me bring you guys to Twitter. Hold the fuck up. Dude.
Right now.
Look at this. Alex Jones just posted. We're deeply saddened to inform you. Hold on. I'm back. Saddened to inform you that InfoWars reporter Jamie White was brutally murdered around midnight Sunday night, due in part to the policies of the Soros, Austin, Texas District Attorney Jose Garza. We pledge that Jamie's tragic death will not be in vain, and those responsible for this senseless violence will be brought to justice. Holy shit.
Also, a lot of activity in a second floor apartment where they've been taking evidence bags out. Right now, police say they do not have any information about a suspect, and they're asking if you know something about that to contact them. You can also remain anonymous using Crime Stoppers.
The afternoon of Monday, March 10th, 2025, and I come to the InfoWars family of viewers and listeners into the world with some really horrible news. There are a lot of really cool people that have worked at InfoWars over the years, and one of the most amazing people was Jamie White. You know him as a great reporter.
So that name sounds familiar, but I can't put a face to it.
And researcher. He was up here last night working late during the Sunday show and after it. And we even have his last post on X where he responded to Elon Musk. Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios. And we are the folks here breaking that news first because his family has been notified, and his good personal friends here that were very close to Jamie have talked to his folks and family. We sent some people over this morning when he didn't answer the phone, because he's always here early, loves to work, loves to fight tyranny, loves to promote freedom. And when they got to the apartment complex, there was yellow tape everywhere and blood all over the parking lot. And we went and talked to the manager. They didn't know anything. It's like everybody else we see in the left. They just very laissez-faire.
Rainy, does Alex Jones believe this is real? No, Jamie was a crisis actor. These are all crisis actors. This is a psyop right here. How does it feel, Alex Jones? This is just a psyop. These are crisis actors. How does it feel, Alex Jones?
But our crew member saw a police officer and went and talked to them, and they made a phone call, and she had the details when she talked to him and knew Jamie. The police officer said yes. He died at the hospital very soon after they got him there. The police responded within 2 minutes, and they had him at the hospital where he was pronounced dead within 18 minutes. Just want to say the police did a great job in the response time, despite, I'm going to talk about in a moment, who I hold responsible for this and who is responsible for this and who are accomplices to Jamie and so many others' murder and so many others that have been raped and mugged. Heard me on air talk about how the crime is very, very bad here in Austin. Any leftist city is, and just exploded the last 4 years. But let me just tell you what happened to Jamie, what we know so far.
Jesus Christ, man. This has got to be, what do you guys think? Stabbing or someone shot him? So you have to think if this is, they're already going with the criminal deal and Soros funded laws. It must be Alex Jones's info, whatever he's getting, must be something related to either the illegal immigrants or just not the DA. They they not tagged him, but they named the DA in the caption of this tweet. Jose something, I don't remember. But anyway, that this was a repeat offender that killed him or something. Maybe they don't even know the person that did it, but I wonder if it's stabbing or shot. I'm almost tempted to say stabbing if there's blood all over the parking lot. I don't know. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Here we go.
His last post on X was 16 hours ago. Elon Musk was talking about.
Yeah, but Rainey, we're hoping it's a stabbing, because what if it's a gunshot, then this is really conflicting for conservatives, because then you go, oops, another senseless gun crime because there's too many guns here. But no, it's just because of criminals, illegals, whatever. Hell yeah.
Leftists saying that if they see cyber trucks, they're going to attack them and physically attack them and put a rock through their windshield. That's now actually happening, and they're burning down the Tesla dealerships and shooting them up, and they're celebrating on corporate news. Elon responded and said, yeah, why are liberals so violent? Legacy media propaganda is a major part of the problem. I'm not saying a leftist killed Jamie, but the point is there's a lot of push for violence. Jamie White reposted Elon Musk's comment in the story, and that's the last thing we know that he ever probably did in his journalistic career. There's Jamie's X account. I've sworn upon the altar of God, eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Original gangster, Thomas Jefferson. And I mean, I'll just say it. Jamie was our best writer and reporter. They're all great, but they all said he was the best. I mean, there's others that are almost as good, but not as good as Jamie. And he wrote 6-7 articles yesterday, posted all this news, did all this great research, gave us information for the show, assisted us in what we were doing. And came this morning, the crew was really upset, and they said Jamie didn't come in. And so we sent one of the crew down there and didn't look good. And then they didn't want to tell me yet that the cops had said, no, it was Jamie White, that we were the first to learn. We waited until the afternoon until the family's been told. You saw a little clip from the newscast about this in the early morning hours, and it's just become so routine. And then when somebody like Daniel Penny defends a group of people on train, these leftist DAs throw them in prison. We'll get to that in a moment. We have one even worse than Alvin Bragg here in Austin, if you can believe that. Recognized as probably the worst in the country, an actual communist. They love the chaos. It's their Cloward and Piven. We'll get to that in a moment. Because Jamie would want us to talk about this. And I would want to talk to the family again a little bit later and see if we can help out, hopefully, with any of the expenses and maybe do a gifts and go or something. Austin Police Department officers responded to a high priority emergency call at approximately 11:57 p.m. Sunday night. The call was shoot, stab, hot shot, which refers to a high priority potential life-threatening call involving possibility of an active shooter or stabbings. Officers arrived about 2 minutes later and found a male victim, obvious signs of trauma, according to APD Public Information Officer Leah Ratliff. Officers attempted life-saving measures before the victim was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead at approximately 12:19 a.m. Monday morning. Homicide detectives are actively investigating the incident, which marks Austin's 8th homicide of the year. Authorities have not released information about potential suspects or specific nature of the victim's injuries. This is pretty early on in the investigation, and the homicide unit will be releasing more information as they're able, Ratliff said during a media briefing. Well, we've talked to police off record. We know more. I'm going to reveal that right now. Multiple police officers we talked to, detectives, said off record that we're really sick of this, we're tired of this, and they said we are too. We have had in the last few years our funding for crime scene people and responders cut back massively. They made the biggest cuts in areas that deal with violent crime, as we know from the news, but this was them telling us, and that they will bust really hard in people with huge rap sheets committing serious crimes, robberies, armed robberies, and that the Austin DA, who, despite all the pressure and everything, is very proud of himself. Soros put him in on record, financed his run, does nothing. In fact, they just intensify it to the point the governors had to put the state police in to Austin just to try to deal with it. And then the state police really don't know anything but writing tickets, so they just write tickets. And I've been really talking about that being a very, very sad thing. But everybody's homes and cars are being broken into. I was talking to Rob Dew, who got home Saturday night at about 11:30. I said, you're lucky you live out in the country in a nice area. He said, actually, we pulled out, there was a truck parked in the street with lights on. He said to his wife, Trish, they're probably going to break in the cars. And they did break in the cars that night. They learned from the neighbors. They parked their car in the garage. So this is what's going on in this country. And almost everyone I know has had family that have died or been brain damaged from fentanyl. I mean, this is all the open border. This is all releasing about hardened criminals.
All right, we get it. It was a target hit. You think so, Rainey? I don't know. I guess it's possible, but I could definitely see, I could imagine this being a world where someone that reports on illegal immigrants and, bad enforcement of laws and, letting repeat offenders loose and stuff like that with violent crimes in their record. Someone that reports on all that shit getting killed by someone committing those very crimes with a repeat offender record. I could see that too. All right, let's get back to the Anthony Cumia thing. We'll let this, it doesn't sound like I might dip into some of that tomorrow if I can't stream Bubba live on Tim Pool's show. We'll see if YouTube might actually not like that. I hope I don't get kicked off for that. But yeah, let's get back to Sponjo.
Not podcasters, not Call Her Daddy, not Shade 45, but we built it on Howard Stern, Opie and in this order, and I'm Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, Bubba the Love Sponge, Scotty Farrell. We built this on some big personalities, and they've let us all go for whatever reasons. And is there anybody that's thinking, well, fuck? We probably have, I don't know. I think one time they accredited Howard to maybe 10% of what their total number may be. So let's put that at 4 million in a morning. What are these 4 million people going to do when he's no longer? I mean, I know they have this library for the next 5 years, but as well as I do that when we would put a best of up or you'd put a best of up, it's not the same. People
doesn't get as many views or listens back then.
So what are they going? What are they going to do?
They got nobody. Like you said before, there's no farm system. There's no guys coming up. I mean, the stations, regular radio stations, they just want someone to sit there. If it's a music station, spin the music, read the liners, and live reads, and then get out and get back to what you're doing. They don't want people to talk. And that's really...
They want AI now. We're going to have AI radio hosts. You guys ready for that? That should be really good content, guys. That's really good quality stuff. Is a robot talking to you. Beep, bop, boop.
Really, the only way you get to know what you're doing in that business is by opening the mic and talking.
Yeah.
Adam Wiley over on the Twitter. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Twitter gave me problems. It wouldn't let me stream on Twitter until about 20 minutes ago. Twitter's having issues. They got hacked by President Zelensky.
And seeing what works and putting your personality out there. How much of you are you going to put out there? And they just don't have that anymore. There's no one in the wings.
And one of the reasons why you and Opie and me and because we put everything out there.
That's nice to hear, Sniz. You talked to a cop in your neighborhood if there are any burglaries, and he said no. That's good. My neighborhood, I don't bother asking the cops because I know that there are burglaries. I know that from experience, I don't have to ask the cops in my neighborhood, hey, are there any homeless people breaking into people's backyards and setting their porches on fire? I don't have to ask that question because I know from experience that that is happening in the very neighborhood that I live in.
Like we put fucking what we put, and if I go back and look at it, we put too much out there. Quite frankly,
Oh, always.
I mean, you and Anthony, you and Opie were always just. I mean, you guys be talking about fucking your wives, and and I mean, I obviously let Hogan fuck my wife. That ruined my shit.
Jesus.
And I mean, I did some stupid shit, but
We all did.
It's like if I am Sirius XM, I'm on the phone with me. I'm on the phone with you. I'm on the phone with maybe Opie. I'm on the phone with these guys saying, hey, we need you guys to come back and help establish that male guy, that male truck driver that's
Right.
that's trucking across America, that spends 80 hours a week listening to our product, and we don't have anything for that guy right now. He don't give a fuck about Call Her Daddy. He don't give a fuck about Conan O'Brien. He doesn't give a fuck about Jason Bateman. He doesn't give a fuck about Mad Dog Sports. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that. And they forgot what got him to the dance.
You think these guys, any of those guys you mentioned that are broadcasting on Sirius at this point, do you think they are relatable in any way to like the guy you just mentioned, the trucker, or a guy on a job site that enjoys listening to guys talk like guys about things that interest them, things they're passionate about? It just doesn't happen.
No, because those guys have other options now, like Compound Media and Joe Rogan and Adam, and just those motherfuckers. I mean, Sirius XM is no longer the sexiest guy on the dashboard anymore.
Hell no,
hell
no. And it's like you talked about before. We opened up and said a lot of things. Bubba, you know this. When you would look at the news or anything going on, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, it's a slow news day, man. This means I'm gonna have to lay some shit out there about myself."
Sniz, never leave a gun in your car. You say, yeah. Pretty much if I bring my gun, look, yeah, no, I don't I don't leave my gun in my car. That pretty much never happens. That is extremely rare. I do have, and in Florida, you don't need a concealed carry permit to conceal carry anymore, but I do have a permit for it. So I carry constantly. In fact, I know a guy, and this is a very smart, to me, that sounds like a smart rule to go by. But I know a guy who used to have dreadlocks, but now his head is shaved. And he also does parody songs. And he likes the Bubba Show a lot and does a stream. And this guy told me he has a concealed carry too. And he told me, hey, you know what? I even bring the gun places where I shouldn't bring it. I was like, no, what? That's crazy, bro. What are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, dude. So even there's places that it says you're not, so they have a sign on the door that says, don't bring your gun in here. And I was like, what? And you don't listen to the sign? You don't go back and put it in your car? And he's like, no, because they're not checking anybody. They just have a sign on the door, So unless they have security that is verifying that no one else is bringing a gun in, then I bring a gun in. This is what the other guy said. This isn't me. I'm talking about, this is a guy I was talking to. Okay. But this is his rule of thumb is you bring the gun anywhere that you can get the gun in, even if you're not supposed to take it there, you take it in there because it's a concealed carry. And the only time anyone's going to see it is if you have to draw it to defend your life, in which case you and the rest of the people in whatever building you went in are going to be thankful. They can't arrest you just because they have a sign, Steve. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I told this guy that I was talking to. No, so I don't know about the rules in Florida exactly for that, which I should. I should look this up, but there are some states. Sniz, I know, you seem to be someone that's like at least pays attention to laws and whatever and is willing to debate me about it and stuff, but there are some states, I only know this because of this one channel I follow on YouTube that breaks down like self-protection stuff, security and badge cam stuff. and they cite laws depending on whatever state the incident occurred in. And there are some states where if a public building will not open to the it's open to the public, but it's private property. So if you go into a store or something that is private property and they have a sign saying you're not supposed to bring a gun, you can actually get charges. I don't know if that's in Florida. I want to say it's like, I almost feel like I heard this was the case in Arizona or something. I don't remember. We could look it up, but we're going to get way long-winded here. We're going to be way too late trying to get through this interview here. But yeah, I don't think the majority of the states, if there's a sign, I don't think you can get in trouble, but there are some that you can, which I was shocked to hear when I heard this.
And my buddies and my relationships and all that stuff.
My wife wouldn't.
Relatable.
My wife wouldn't give me head last night.
Yeah, they can ask you to leave, Sniz. But I can look it up real quick. Man, what was how could I even find this? Sniz, I swear to God, I'm not making this up just to be a contrarian and fight with you. There are some states you can get how do I fucking even word this to search it? Let me think. Oh my God, Sniz. Holy fuck, guys. I can't believe I may have remembered this properly. Arizona is one of the states. And I think I remember this because it was shocking because you'd think Arizona would not give a fuck. But here's someone talking about it on Reddit. No gun sign enforcement by state. Okay, yeah, so check this out, Sniz. Find it odd how in lots of pro-gun states like Arizona and Texas, these signs have force of law. However, anti-2A states like Oregon and Washington do not enforce these signs unless they are placed on specifically prohibited locations. This person's saying to verify. Oh. Huh. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the video. Yeah, so what this person, good question, Sniz. How can a private citizen supersede the Second Amendment and have you arrested for carrying a gun of a sign they put up? No, it is, it's complicated. I don't know exactly what it seems like, and if I remember correctly. See you, Rainey. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Please, if you didn't already, hit the like button on your way out. Everybody, if you don't mind hitting the like button for me. Fucking, this seems to be saying, and if I do remember from the video that I saw, the sign itself, they actually have laws in the state. So it's not as if it's not as if a citizen just arbitrarily put a sign up and so the cops come and enforce their sign. It's actually a law in some of these certain states that when you have a no gun sign, then it's probably not as severe as carrying it into a federal building or something, which I think is universally prohibited. But it's a law in those states that if you have a sign posted that it's a no gun area, it may as well be like you're walking into a school or something like that. It's the police can enforce it. All right, let's get back to the video. We can break that down another night.
Fucking bitch, and the kids were fighting and just some shit.
Right.
But we could and we did. And it's just like there's an overabundance of really bad content right now, but there's still a remnants of in 20 years. I mean, you and I will be gone, Howard will be gone. I mean, OP will probably be gone 20, 25 years from now. There is nobody that lived in our era. Your guys' cathedral, Catholic deal,
jock era.
my $755,000 fucking fine. Howard's large. There's nobody like us left, and so if I was them, I would be squeezing that last 15 good years of personality-driven radio because right now nobody's doing it except 77 WABC.
Yeah, I mean, it's an independently owned station. It's not like they have a conglomerate that also sells.
So the blue and red on the map, Jolly Holly, that is the red was the states that don't enforce. We can pop right back to it. The red was supposed to be, I don't know that this is accurate. Let's can we blow it up? Okay, look. Red is no gun sign, do not have force of law. So that means when a private business like Sprouts, for instance, guys, I go to Sprouts. Sprouts has a no gun sign on the fucking door like retarded hippies. Okay? And my friend that I was talking to, he told me I just ignore that. I pretend I don't even see it. I look up. I don't give them they're recording a video when you walk in, so I specifically look away from the sign so that I have plausible deniability that I saw the sign and then brought a gun in there anyway. That's what my buddy says, not me. That's not my rules. I follow the signs. But yeah, so that's what red is. It's when a private business or wherever the fuck just has a sign up. They don't have security or something. It's just a fucking sign and that you can walk right by and, whatever. They have them at hospitals now too. And the hospitals around here, I used to have to deliver flowers for this one flower shop. And the hospitals now strictly enforce. They have metal detectors, and I don't know what happened that they started doing that, but yeah, the hospitals fucking strictly enforce no guns or weapons inside. They make everybody go through the detector, and they wand them and look through their purses and shit. But yeah, and then blue, obviously, is when they have a no gun sign that is backed up by law. So if you're in there, they can do more than just ask you to leave. They can actually call the cops on you. But this is the thing, guys, if no one is checking other people going through the door, then it's only people who are not rule/law abiding citizens already. The people that walk around with a standard of fuck the law entirely. I don't give a fuck. I don't respect property rights. I don't respect laws. Those are the people that are going to be in the building with the gun because no one's checking. You don't have security checking everybody. Then those are the only people that are going to have the guns inside a building like that. Unless there are people like my buddy who used to have dreads and shaves his head now and does parody songs and does a live stream and he's a fan of the Bubba Show. That guy will be one of the law-abiding citizens who has a respect for property rights and rule of law generally. He'll be in there with a gun, but it's because he's what's the term? Like what was it? For Thomas Jefferson or something about breaking the laws? Like I don't find. Anyway, let's get back to the fucking video. Trying to quote Thomas Jefferson here. I don't even remember the quote. God, what the fuck am I doing? What am I thinking?
Laundry detergent and car parts and baby diapers. You know, that's what happened with these big conglomerations of radio stations with other companies being absorbed like that. They're like, well, if this guy says something stupid, we're going to lose sales in our Twinkie concession. And it's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do my job if you're worried about selling diapers more than you are about the talent on a radio station that you don't even know about? There's a consortium of people upstairs that don't even care what's on. They just want to know how much money's coming in.
There was
destroyed radio.
There was when the Mel Karmazons and the Randy Michaels and the Tim Sabians and these guys that would go up to management and stick up for. They'd be like, "Hey man, Opie and Anthony fucking did this and this, and we're getting ready to lose a $5,000 buy." And then Tim or Randy or Mel would be like, "Hey, listen. Okay, yeah, we're gonna lose a little bit of business, but these motherfuckers have got a 17 share, and we'll recoup it, or we'll have Anthony say a real shallow sorry tomorrow, or some bullshit, and and then they came to us and they kind of told us what we did wrong, but they stood by us. They absolutely stood. Yep. The first option wasn't to fire us. The first option was to get us back on track and fix it, and try to fix the problem. And it's just when I saw that you got the 77 ABC gig, it kind of gave me a little sense of I'm currently still on 3 affiliates, Tampa, Fort Walton Beach, and in Arizona, but I'm blackballed by the big ones. Me too. I'm fucked just like you. And then, but I almost feel like you represent a tether into the big time possibility of bringing real personality radio back, because I think it's twofold. One, there's nobody doing it. And two, the audience will absolutely gravitate to somebody that does it well, like you.
They're there. The audience is there, man. We know it. And this is, I consider it the same way, Bubba. It's a foot in the door, man. It's a foot back in the door. And, I will definitely deliver. I'm positive of it. There's an audience waiting for this. And then we'll see where it goes from there.
See, it's almost like you're Tom Brady and you're going to Tampa and you can win a fucking Super Bowl because you just know you can. Give me Gronk and give me some other motherfucker. But I when you're a younger talent and they're getting ready to hire you to do middays at some bullshit, top 40 radio station, you've not been in the business 40 years like you and I. You don't know if you're stupid, 2 minute.
Oh, the term is civil disobedience. I didn't look that up. I totally didn't. I just remembered. Civil disobedience was the term I was looking for. I'm not sure if that's part of a Thomas Jefferson quote. I might actually just be retarded, but that is the term I was thinking of.
Fucking speed breaks are going to make a difference in this urban top 40 shit. You don't know if it's going to be hit or miss when it comes to the ratings, but you've got to know that the type of radio you do and the level of success that you've had in doing it, you're going to kill it. You're going, especially on a talk-based, they're not putting you on a fucking urban in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right. Did you guys see that? Florida Phil. Oh, God, he watches. Let me just back it up 2 seconds. 3107. That you can't see him entirely, but this is Florida Phil's son. No Diddy, but yes Diddy. Florida Phil's son is a very, very handsome man. He's not a minor. He looks very young and studly, but I think he is like in his 20s or something. I don't know. He's a handsome man.
Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
You're on an established AM franchise in New York that people gravitate for talk radio. So I mean, you're fucking set up. And I've
been watching Bubba's the picture thing in the background, hoping to see that picture of me gobbling the glizzy. Where's that glizzy pic, guys?
So I have my guys. I'm like, man, get Ant on the phone because I just want to tell him that we're all of us dudes that are left that kind of used to do what we do. We're all pulling for you because I think you represent something larger than even you can fathom.
Fucking Adam Wiley, love you too, dude. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've kind of had that wash over me a few times over the past month or so since we started talking about this with the guys up in New York. And I'm getting a little more of this almost responsibility I have.
Yeah, you better do it, motherfucker. Or I don't have a chance, bitch. I'm like, man, I'm going to be pulling for you. I'd be like, man, I'm going to be paying attention. What did Ant pull in the ratings? What did he get? He went
believe me.
He went 1940. Great, fucking A, it's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
God, between satellite radio and then doing what I was doing with Compound Media over the course of the years, it has been a long fucking time since
you had to worry about ratings.
Thought about ratings.
Oh,
since I even thought about, and then I start remembering the anxiety and adrenaline in your gut when the ratings would come out. You'd sit down with the GM and the PD,
and they would spit over off the fax machine or some bullshit. They would spit out, and you'd be like, "All right, that's middays. Well, what's afternoons? What's afternoons? What is it?"
Right.
And you had like you had like $275,000 bonus writing on it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, I had literally when I was fucking killing it, I had like every book could be like $400,000. Like if I killed it, I'd be like, fuck, I'm rich as fuck,
Yeah, we had that same deal with the WNEW contract that we signed years ago, and the bonuses, and we were killing it, and it was like, but every trend that came out, you're like, oh great, now we got that for the next fucking
we got 2 more months before that fucker rolls out. Fuck, right. You'd go 4.9 to a 3.2, and you'd be like, fuck, we're losing our 4.9, and we got that 3.2 bullshit coming in, right?
Yeah. Another 3 months before that gets spit out the other end.
Yeah.
So it was so stressful.
And then they came up with remember they came up with weeklies. So weeklies would come out and you'd be a fucking nervous wreck for that shit.
Every week. So now I'm thinking of that and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Like, hold on, what was my last 3 weeks? So if those 3 are together, that's a fucking that's a 4.1, but I'm dropping that 2.9. So I mean you have to become like a fucking arithmetic specialist. You're
doing a beautiful mind shit on your window with a wax pencil.
Now I out of the two, was Opie more uptight? Because you always were kind of the more laid back one. Was Opie the one more freaked out about that than you?
Yeah, Opie was like a professor of ratings, man.
Right.
He would grab the books and work out between all the different demos and the day parts, and he'd look at everything, the competition, and it was he was really
and the time spent listening, and if I need a teaser break going into the third quarter hour, and all that bullshit that we had to, and see, then we went to satellite and they paid us enough that we didn't have to fucking worry about that, and it was so nice, and it really was. But you're fixing to jump back in that world, boss man.
I know, man. I've been thinking about it. It's crazy.
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. You have nothing but upside to that, because I mean, they would listen. If they were killing it, they wouldn't. If they're like, listen, man, we already got a fucking 18 chair Sunday night. We don't fucking need Anthony for shit. Fuck him. But I mean, obviously, they know the value that you bring. They know that for that 1 hour, you can just get a fucking huge spike. The ratings are so now specific that they can actually narrow it down to 1 hour.
It's 8 to 10. So
that's even better. So then your salespeople can take those 2 hours, start redacting, all that kind of shit. And here's the day that's the most important day. Here's the next step that's the most important day in this process.
Mm-hmm.
Your second affiliate.
Yeah.
Right? The next guy that says, fuck yeah, I want some of that. Then after that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 come a running. It's kind of like when Howard went to Philly. It took Philly and to beat DeBella to finally get LA to believe in him. And I think it was probably the same way with you guys with Boston, right?
Yeah, Boston was when we were up there. Yeah, we had a great relationship with Philly and Boston and DC.
But Boston was first, right? Was Boston first?
We were in Boston. I believe Philly might have been first for us.
Syndicated
YSP. And then BCN grabbed us up in Boston, but that wasn't for a little while. I think there was still some shit to hammer out because of our AAF days.
I think it was either you or it might have been Opie. I had him on years ago, and he said there one time him and Ant were going to meet with who the fuck the dude. He went on to program Oprah's deal. Fuck, what was that guy's name? He was a big time program for CBS, and you guys had to drive to DC to meet him or a consultant. And you thought you guys were getting ready to go to a big hotel room and a dinner, and he met you like at a strip mall or some bullshit. And I think like just pretty much rubber stamped the deal, or you didn't get the deal or some bullshit. But I remember you guys drove to DC.
See us.
Yeah, he just wanted to see your face.
Us, and he asked us if we could, keep it under control. If he just wanted to make sure we weren't.
No, I think it was you guys needed to get fired. You guys needed to for the deal to kick in.
For the CBS deal, we had to get fired from AAF.
Yes,
we got the CBS deal, and we got fired for the April 1st thing, saying Mayor Menino was dead.
Right,
and we got brought right into WNEW under Viacom.
I'm trying to think of who that dude was.
Yeah, we used to call him the Southern guy
because I think he was your first programmer at XM. The first dude, he came from Tampa. I think he might have been a Tampa boy. It wasn't Chris Oliveira. It was I forget his name.
Chris is just like a middle manager.
Yeah, he was like fucking a banner. He used to hang banners at gigs and shit.
Yeah, boy, that's a guy that climbed that ladder, huh?
Oh yeah, did he ever? Oh, God, who was that fucking guy? Now it's gonna kill me who that guy was.
Fabian was great with us.
Tim was great with me too.
Time. We'd go to Philly to do shows from YSP, and he would take us out, and just he was a fun guy to hang out with.
Man, Howard really. I mean, I wish things would have been better. I think Howard.
Yeah.
Now, weren't you guys weren't you guys working for Jeremy too? Jeremy Coleman.
Yeah, little twink, Jeremy.
Little Jeremy.
Yeah,
that's what we'll call him. Little Jeremy.
Lil Jeremy.
Someone say twink. So I'm looking up on some other tabs here. I was seeing what Anthony got fired for. And this is interesting. This is interesting. Let's go to this tab for just a minute. Bro, he got attacked. Anthony Cumia got physically attacked by somebody and then made fun of them on Twitter. And that's why he got fucking fired. That is crazy. SiriusXM fires Anthony Cumia, host of Opie and Anthony, over tweets. Cumia, co-host SiriusXM Opie and Anthony, was fired by the Sirius Satellite for what the company called racially charged and hate-filled remarks on social media. Cumia tweeted Tuesday that he had been punched in the face by a woman in New York Times Square when she was caught in the frame while he was taking a picture of the area. The tweets that followed were racially charged and contained several obscenities. Gawker has collected them all, but we warn you they're graphic. Oh, let's click that link and see. But anyway, the tweets drew widespread criticism on social media. Cumia defended himself, saying that while his tweets were profanity-laced, they were not racist. Why should I afford my attacker any courtesy? Insane. I feel like if you get attacked by somebody, you should be able to go tweet about, you should be able to say whatever you want about them. Their race, their whatever. They physically assaulted you. They're automatically on a lower pedestal. They're a bigger piece of shit. They physically took action and... Oh, fuck. I clicked this, I clicked the link. Look where it takes us, guys. Is that because Gawker collected them? Is Gawker gone? Is that why this, it's not showing up? Nobody can show what his tweets were. They were so offensive, no one will even put the tweets in their article. I've clicked like 3 other articles, guys. What the fuck? Let's go. Let's take it over to this one. This one doesn't say it either. Racially charged tweets. Cumia called a black woman a something animal. Now, when I first read this, when I was looking in tabs, I thought you see C word and you go, oh, he called her a cunt animal. But then you go, oh, wait, they're saying it's racist. I think that might be a different C word. but I'm not exactly sure. This is his other tweet. We're living in a strange backward world where people support the attacker and the victim is the villain. Guys, look at this too. Look at this ad. You guys can see this ad that popped up with flowers. This is how actually retarded the algorithms are. When I worked at that flower shop for Valentine's Day, we get orders in. I warned you guys before. I told you about how flower shops work. And when you order online from 1-800-Flowers or Teleflora, FTD, whatever, one of these like online flower ordering places, they send the order to a flower shop to fill it, and then they take some of your money and give the flower shop the rest of the money to fill the order. So you're getting ripped off. The money that you put into your order, if you don't call a shop directly, you are getting ripped off. I'm telling you guys, if you're going to send flowers, find a good flower shop. You are wasting your money ordering from some website that says like, we have florists available to fill the order. Da, da, da. They're just taking your money. They're playing the middleman and taking your money. But anyway, when we get these orders, they have a code on them. It'll say, like for Teleflora, it'll say TEV and then some numbers. And when we type that into Google, it pulls up the pictures of the flowers. So I have been getting nonstop flower ads because Google's just so confused why I would show up to a flower shop 3 days in a row and look up 100,000 different pictures of flowers. And it's just like, man, this motherfucker, I just know it. He wants to order flowers. No way he's an employee at a flower shop. He wants to order 100,000 different arrangements. So that's what Google thinks. That's what the targeted ads. And this is just more proof, as I said, these whether it's Google, YouTube, whoever the fuck, they're telling these companies, we do targeted ads based on whatever the fuck. So your advertisement gets in front of possible customers who are truly interested in da-da-da. Guys, Google is retarded and they're wasting everyone's money. All right, so yeah, let's get back to the fucking thing. Fucking flower ads. Kill me.
Lil Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Jeremy,
his head
here's the
rolled.
thing, man. Like, Lil Jeremy, you could just do the most fucked up shit in the world that was just so wrong, like really bad. And Lil Jeremy really just couldn't lay the screws to you like a real man.
Nope.
Like a real man could be like, hey, Aunt, that was fucked up. That was bullshit. That's never going to happen again, you stupid fuck. Don't you ever say that again. And you'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm cool. Lil Jeremy be like, hey, buddy, you might want to, that's not so cool. I'm just like,
Yeah.
saying,
Then we just be like, have another Cosmo and sit down. we don't listen to you.
Lil Jeremy. That could be our thing. Lil Jeremy. He's still in charge over there.
What's up?
He's still in charge over there.
Is he?
Yes, he runs the whole. He's like runs the whole fucking deal over there.
It's amazing when you look at how many people, like it's few people, but how many of them were able to navigate that minefield over the course of decades, and they're still
there. Ross Zapin, remember Ross? Scott Greenstein.
Yep.
I just saw where Patrick Donnelly finally is wrapping it up. He hated me. Fuck that was
Did
my yeah. Who hated you? Who hated you the most over there?
Oh God, probably Opie.
Besides Opie, like I think Patrick Donnelly hated me the most.
Yeah. I really didn't. I don't think I was around them enough for them to hate me or me to hate them. I didn't go to a lot of meetings with them. Opie was the guy that would go to lunch with management and stuff. And I'm like, the less I talk to management, the better. I don't want to hear what we shouldn't be doing or what they're cutting or the thing we should be doing. Not from them. I would go in every day, fire up the mic and just be me and do the show. I didn't want to hear about the business end of it from, people that were not funny.
Well, and people that didn't know what we were doing. Like
exactly.
Didn't know like the form of art we were creating, or how we operate. And this will never happen. This will never happen for various reasons. But this would be the only thing that would save them post Howard, and that is Bubba in the morning, Opie in the middays, Anthony afternoons. Now we don't fucking like each other. We don't even have to see each other. But we're and we would have an under.
That's like Requiem for a Dream.
Understanding that if we can't promote
blue in the morning, orange in the afternoon, blue in the morning, red in the afternoon, orange in the evening. 1, 2, 3, just like that.
About each other coolly, then we don't talk about each other. Like that would be the only rule. Like, Opie, I know you hate Anthony, and Anthony, I know you hate Opie, and you don't have to be in the same fucking studios or nothing like that. You guys can help. In today's world, we can do them remotely. But tell me that channel wouldn't fucking kill.
Oh, of course it would. It would be huge. But that would never happen for many different reasons.
I don't know why. I mean, they could be so desperate to have some type of resemblance of what they had and they could get us a lot cheaper than they used to pay. I mean, right?
You know what it would take for them to realize that they have fucked up and they made a mistake. And you know those guys, they never admit to that shit.
Never.
So
They
you know,
still
they
think
would rather
they still think the Oprah and the Martha channel worked.
right, the book channel,
Right.
and the other garbage they put on there. They will never admit that they fucked up and turn around on a decision. So that would be a huge thing. I don't think Opie wants to
would you do
work
mid?
anymore.
Would you do okay then? So I'm in the morning, and they give you an option to take middays or afternoons. What do you take?
Yeah, I'd probably at this point in my life, I'd probably take
I take middays.
middays.
That's the fucking show. Listen, start at 10, get out at 2. The fuck
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
you can sleep in, you can go out at night. Fuck, right?
That's what I kind of liked about afternoons. But
Yeah, but afternoon sometimes got into the nighttime deal. If you're not getting up at like 7 o'clock, you know. And how far did you live? How far did you live from the studios?
I was on Long Island, so it was a good at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Yeah,
drive
so I mean,
home.
you don't get home till 8:30. You know,
Yeah.
and at that time, you know, fuck, you can't have any whores over 8:30.
Yeah, that's true.
back in the day, man, I heard you used to have all the hoes. I mean, you just had them coming and going back in the day.
Those were some crazy days there, Bubba. I had
we could
my
never.
house in Roslyn, Long Island.
Is anyone up in the chat? If y'all don't want to chat, that's cool. But I'm just making sure nothing weird happened. Or is there any technical difficulties? Because the chat's been not moving at all. I guess everybody's just listening. Okay, Big E's here. Well, that was quick. Jesus. All right. Thought it was more delay than that. Just checking. It's all good, guys. You don't have to be in the chat. Just making sure. I just, I don't think Bubba's channel would do this, but sometimes when I've been like the Jubilee channel, when I streamed their stuff, and when I was streaming Close Encounters, that scene, the stream dropped. And so I'm just scared when I'm playing other people's content and then the chat goes silent. That just scares me.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
One because we didn't have Uber back then. It was the 777 limo service.
Right.
Hold
on, that you had a fucking account with.
Yeah. And one car would be leaving and another one would be pulling.
Right. When I was doing mornings in Tampa, I would fuck 2 girls a day. I would fuck one at noon. Because I get off at 10, I'd fuck one at noon, and I'd have her out of there by 2, and I'd have another one come.
Right.
Then I'd have to take like some Cialis or some bullshit, and then I could fucking. So I'd do like 2 a days, like noon and 4, and then that's how I used to roll back in the day.
Crazy, right?
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and you'd look back and go like, that was
Bubba, you dog.
It's exhausting.
Well, not only
And
that,
then,
but I don't even think that you and I and Ant. I don't think Howard ran groupies like we did. Because when Ant was and Opie was married, so you and I, we ran the hose. I mean, like we fucking had legitimate radio suck my dick groupies. We did.
It was yes.
And we took advantage of that. And I don't know that radio groupie world with today's cell phones and today's P Diddy bullshit. I don't think that you can run like that anymore.
No,
Bubba. Yeah, the times have changed. Now you just got me wanting to suck your dick for Mike 4. That's about what you got now. Take it or leave it.
Oh, fuck no.
No.
I mean, I consider myself very lucky that there were no pregnancies, no lawsuits, any shit like that.
I went and got a vasectomy when I started getting famous. That's what I did.
You knew. See, you fucking.
I like to keep it in, man. Fuck that rubber shit. Right?
Oh, gross.
Yeah, we were some dastardly dudes back in the day, man.
We would go out and do an appearance, and I had like a couple fucking promotional dudes, and I had like a little signal I would give them if a girl would come through and like for an autograph, and they would take her aside and get her, number for me and shit. And then I'd immediately be on the phone with her after the gig, trying to get her to come over to the crib. I mean, and I know you had to be the same way because you're just like me. I mean, as far as listen, you ran the hose just like I did.
I was, it was part of the game. It was part of the whole thing. It was great. It was stressful at times. Sometimes you'd have to keep your lies straight.
Oh, you couldn't keep your. Then you have to de-push. Then you have to de-push your house. Like if you had like a full-time girl, you'd have to de-push your house, which means take a hair roller to the bed and go up a hair. Then you have to check the sink and the shower, make sure there's no hair residue there. And then you'd have to go to the phone and dial somebody like your buddy's phone number because your old girl will come in and hit last redial and it'd be some bitch. So you have to go there and dial your best friend. And then, it was
stressful and just good, but it was great. It was you felt like
I never have to de-puss my house. That's sometimes I gotta de-shiz my house. That's about it.
King of the Hill, man.
Oh my God, it was and you know what? Rock stars can't emulate that anymore. Radio person, I don't think rock stars can. Like, remember how Motley Crue? Think about our stupid little radio microcosm world and the groupies that we had. Think about like Bon Jovi and Poison and shit like. I mean, they probably had to have like penicillin shots every day, not to. You know what I'm saying?
Those stories, we talked to enough of those guys over the years, and their stories about backstage antics and the hotel rooms and the girls they would get. Their the old story, their roadies would go out and pick the girls to come backstage, and Just crazy.
We had David Lee
crazy
Roth
shit.
on one time, and he said he had a grid system where the stage was like A, B, C, and D, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 based on how deep you were. And he would just tell us a group. He'd tell us his hand are like A3 blonde, A3 blonde, and they would go back and find her and have her ready to go for him. Back in the day.
And any of those girls coming to see Van Halen back then were going backstage. There was not one girl that would have gone, oh yeah, go back with Dave. And said, no, I'm just gonna hang out.
No, usually the roadie got a head job just to get him back there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, the hand grenade friend with the blonde.
Oh, the fat one? Yeah, that whatever. The bass player got her. I guess. No,
right. Yeah, Michael Anthony got that.
So when does 77 ABC start?
This Sunday. We're talking a few days, and 8 to 10 p.m. Sunday night. It's funny because you know me. I've been me forever. Sure. I do my podcast show. I've done it for 11 years, and it's pretty easy. It's just what I do. I prep for it, obviously,
right?
But talking and whatnot. Well, I haven't slept past 8:00 a.m. the past week. There's production. I've had Zoom meetings with sales. I've talked to the tech guys, and I'm like, oh fuck! I went and got myself a real goddamn job.
I got a real fucking gig here.
I got myself a real job.
I'm used to rolling out here like a fucking whatever I want, and I actually have to work. Fuck!
I have other things to do besides just potting up the mic and talking for a couple hours.
Yeah, but isn't that refreshing to see?
It is, dude. I love it.
Like when you guys used to get into affiliate, you'd have that same enthusiasm where you cut liners and they would be promoting it.
Yep.
And, Opie and Anthony coming to town. Opie and Anthony, boom, boom, and you got that same enthusiasm with 77 WABC. That's so awesome.
I've had a passion to do this for so long. Back in the AAF days, we used to have to do production after the show. We'd have to do spots.
Yeah, me too.
We'd have to record them and do.
Do you remember doing donuts, and you have to do. It only gave you like 13 seconds to put it in, and you have to try it like 15 fucking times,
right,
and then you have to take the China marker and mark the fucking tape, and then fucking splice it out and all that shit.
Literally cutting fucking tape. Yes. And then they got this amazing thing called Pro Tools.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I can hit a button and delete that shit and try it again digitally.
But I would take these spots and I would stay 2 hours after the show because I'd add sound effects and character voices. And then Opie told me, because he'd been in this business, he goes, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, your little cubby is going to be packed.
Right, because you do such good production. That's all the fucking
put
it all on you.
He was right. Opie would go, they call me Slappy because I just slap the shit together and give it to him. So then I started noticing my cubby for post-show production was stacked, packed. And Opie had one donut in there to leave a tag on for, Fox 5 in Boston or something.
Right.
Yeah,
and
you
put
doing
zappers and zingers and sound effects.
Oh, yeah.
And then every fucking sales pig was like, man, you got to have Anthony do your shit, man. Because that guy does the best dubs and he's got sound effect and zappers and zippers. And don't let fucking Opie does it because all he does is a 5-second rip and read. Fuck that guy.
But he was right.
Let Ant do it. No, he was right on that one.
He was right. But again, people ask me also when I got this gig, they go, well, why? Why would you want to do this? It's like the same reason I do a show on Compound every day. I like doing this. I enjoy doing it. It's not like I'm sitting here because I've seen some podcasters, they'll just read the chat. They sit staring at the screen and they read the chat, what people are saying in the chat room. And that's not entertaining to people that are.
You guys, I'm no longer reading the chat. This is the last time I'm reading the chat. I want to be a professional broadcaster. I have a life to live, It's making me gay. Adam Wiley, thank you. How does it feel to be the last chat message I will ever read on my stream ever? Ugh. Gotta have higher standards, guys. Sorry. No more chat.
Watching?
You do a show.
A show. I have things that I want to talk about.
Right.
I want to get my opinion out there. I have a good joke about this one. I want people to be compelled to come back the next day because they liked what they heard the previous day. And that's why, when I was offered this gig, I'm like, yeah, of course I take this.
I'm going to miss you, chat.
It's a bigger audience. It's a broadcast audience, and I want to talk to them.
And like you said, with the podcaster that just sits there and reads chat and fiddle fucks around, they're not engaging. People, they've not been taught how to engage. They've never been on. My radio career took me Terre Haute, Grand Rapids, San Antonio, Chicago, Milwaukee, Tampa, Orlando.
Jolly Holly, sorry, I couldn't resist. A smiley face emoji. I can't quit you, chat.
Philadelphia. So, I had all these teachers to kind of give me, kind of teach me a little bit. And I started out as a top 40, fucking radio guy, and then didn't get into spoken word radio until I got down here to Tampa. But I learned the art of engagement and I learned the art of spoken word radio through other Mark Driscoll and, really, really talented people. And there's just not a lot of people that come from the training or the background that you and I have through our long path of radio. And these podcasters and these brokered radio shows. And have you heard that fucking brokered radio show that's on like 300 radio station and it's all about the value of your car? It's a used car salesman.
Are you shitting me? No, I haven't.
And it's damn near entertaining because so he gets there, he's like, hey, I don't know if it's fucking Mark the Car or whatever the fuck his name is, but he's like, he'll be like, Mark the Car, and what he does is he goes and buys, hour slots over all these AM stations,
Right.
like 1,000 of them, and it's like Saturday from like 6A to 8A, and these AM stations are giving that to you for like 46 cents, like whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes on there and does nothing but have these fucking people call up and ask them what the value of their car is, and if it's good enough, if he offers them some money. So let's say you got a car that's worth $19,500, and he says, hey, Ant, I'll buy your fucking car right now. He didn't say fuck. I'll get you on regular radio. Hey, Ant, can you go ahead and send us pictures of your car? Sends him pictures. I get him. He goes, I'll send a wrecker right now to pick up your car if you take $16,900 for it right now. And then he's got so then the other half of it is he's selling that car now. It's just it's what radio's turned into.
20.
Yeah, 21.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
that's so he's a used car salesman doing infomercials.
And so radio is now, that's what radio has become, where they'll either broker it out or they'll just put some, now the big thing is AI. Beasley now is so heavily into AI that
I agree with you, Scott Starbird. Live streaming is way better than radio. Best thing about live streaming is the chat. Don't let Anthony Cumia fool you. Best part about streaming is the live chat. I got to talk to you guys. I get a big boner. You encourage me to slut it up on here. I couldn't do this without the chat.
That every music radio station, all 77 of them, can be controlled by a laptop remotely. And the jocks.
Truth is unbreakable. Thanks for joining us. What's up? What's up? Yeah, Scott's absolutely right. Fuck radio.
Just go in and put all their brakes in a hopper. And then they have a PD that goes in and sprinkles their brakes. It's 25 past the top of the hour. Here's poison, and every rose has its thorn on fucking 99. Blah blah blah. And it's all AI based, and all their positioning statements are AI. And it's just like that's what radio's become. And you are the last of the old timers that's getting an opportunity to go back and do personality based radio on a large enough stage that will make a difference. I mean, let's say your first book you go 1942. You don't fucking think that the industry, the industry's already covered this quite well. Like I'm proud of the industry that didn't bury you because of our checkered past. They could just say, I noticed that. They could just say, fuck Ant, he's fucking did this and he did this. He's kind of a piece of shit. That's what they think of us. Let's just be honest.
Of course. I have no delusions.
Yeah. We're pieces of shit. I'm a cheater. Hogan fucked my wife. Fuck it. You said some bad words about a black guy. Whatever the fuck. Whatever, piece of shit. But the industry, from Radio Inc. to, every major trade magazine has Talkers, Michael Harrison, they've all reported this and reported it positively.
Positive, yes.
So I'm like so pulling for you. And and you got to be just, like you said, you haven't slept past 8 o'clock because you're genuinely giddy and you got yourself a real gig. And not only do you got yourself a real gig, you got yourself a real opportunity. You really do.
Yep. That's what I see. And look, I never thought I would get an opportunity like this. And I wasn't looking for an opportunity like this. That's the amazing thing. I wasn't shopping myself around. I do what I do on a daily basis. I do a show, but my name started coming up when they were talking about personalities to get on WABC. And when they called, I was like,
do you know the dude that might've been, who was the dude that said, hey, fucking Anthony Cumia, he might just be available.
It was a girl.
Really?
It was a girl.
Really?
It was this girl, Amory, and she used to be on Chrissy Mayer's show on Compound Media, and she hung around Compound Media. Real talented, funny girl. And she went to, I believe, Arizona or Albuquerque, New Mexico, somewhere out west. And she texted me and said, hey, can I give you your number to my old boss? Because he wants to talk to you about something. I think maybe an appearance fee. Like, she didn't even know.
Right.
And I said, yeah, go ahead. I'm willing to talk to anybody. And then I found out, no, this is for a fucking gig.
This is the PD, probably the PD.
Within 3 days. Yeah, it was the president of
program
of ABC, CBS. So I made a reservation to fly up there within days. And we were sitting in the office, and I'm meeting the sales staff and promotions people and the engineers and the on air. And it was just like, holy shit. But again, I can't stress this enough. I am doing this because I love doing this. I love the medium and I love talking on the radio. I wasn't looking for a gig. And I just think this is, like you said, a great opportunity. And it's something I love doing. So
it's something that you do daily. And
Yeah.
and this is just a little tweaking of that little language,
Right.
little language here and there, little
Of course.
topic matter changing here and there. We can't. Talk
I've done terrestrial radio
Sure.
shows
I mean,
in the
fine.
past 11 years. I've
Sure.
been, you know how to turn it on and off.
Absolutely.
You know,
we know
and,
what stage we're on. We do. We
Yes,
know.
yes.
Like, when I used to do 2 shows a day, I would do mornings for Cox, and then I would do afternoons for Howard. And so I had to, I had way different rules for each. But I knew what stage I was on. I never messed up. I mean,
we did K-Rock in the
that's right.
morning.
Then you would walk
and
down.
then we would do XM.
Yeah.
We'd walk over down 57th Street to the
and
XM
you
studios.
you couldn't open up K-Rock with what the fuck's going on. Like you guys knew that. We're professional enough, even though we are fuck ups. We're professional enough to know what stage we're on.
Yeah. At least language wise,
Yeah. And in today's world, I think in today's world, the FCC is really not nearly what it was when we were rolling around.
I talk about it all the time, Bubba. I say that the FCC these days, it's quaint, it's nostalgic, getting in trouble with the FCC. The real problems are the people out there that want to limit your freedom of speech, shut you down, want to make those phone calls and post things about you to try to fuck your life up.
Yeah.
That's way.
Yeah, like radio, I've heard a lot of people saying this now, that the FCC, and Bubba has even, I think, said this. I mean, the FCC's rules, if you exclude the profanity aspect of it, the FCC's rules are lighter than the rules of the fucking internet that used to be the Wild West. Now I did my Kanye song that got deleted off of YouTube. Twitch is like impossible. You got deleted for suggesting maybe you wouldn't die in agony if you didn't get injected with something the CDC recommended. I'm having to dance around it right now. I'm not on the radio. I wish the FCC was regulating what I'm doing right now. I could stop cussing, but be allowed to talk about pretty much whatever I want. Fuck yeah. Give me that.
Worse than the FCC ever was.
Oh, yeah,
and at least you had the station lawyers that could be the buffer between you and the FCC.
Well, the FCC
nowadays,
the FCC is a fucking cakewalk compared to the trolls you got to deal with on the internet.
Hell yeah.
I'll take the FCC. They're an organized government that has rules. I mean, these fucking trolls will dox you and fuck you. I mean, I'll take the FCC any day over those.
Any
fuckers.
day, bro.
Is that a Corsair behind you?
Yeah, there's a Corsair.
How about that?
No. The Corsair's on this side.
Oh,
that's a Stuka.
That's a Stuka. Remember when we were growing up with Robert Conrad and Baba Black Sheep? Remember that?
Baba Black Sheep, man. We're going in the slot.
Yeah,
there's meatballs out there today.
And they would always show the same footage of that little fucking.
Bubba must be able to. I guess whatever Bubba's looking at, he must be able to see Anthony's full screen because we can't see what they're referring to behind him.
Like 3-gun machine gun when they were firing on the Japs, they would have that same B-roll file footage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They must have gone out like one weekend
and shot all that place
and shot all the air footage, and then they just repurposed it for every episode.
Oh yeah,
I loved that show. That was awesome.
One of my favorite shows growing up. Baba Black Sheep, and then remember that one show? It was about a basketball coach that coached. It was only about three seasons. He was
the White Shadow.
The White Shadow. He was at an all-black school, and he was the White Shadow. That was a badass show too. Remember?
Yeah. The White Shadow, huge show back then. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then you find out they only lasted a couple of seasons.
I know.
Great shows.
Meanwhile, the fucking.
I was hoping they were going to get a little bit more into what he got fired for. I mean, we looked that up, and nobody wanted to quote his tweets, which is, concerning. Not for me, obviously. I don't fucking care what the guy. Like I said, he got assaulted by somebody. He should be able to say the N-word. I don't give a fuck.
Simpsons have been on 110 fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, back then, if you weren't pulling a 17 share in Nielsen ratings,
I know.
You were done. That was
only,
low.
Like if you didn't have a 36 share, you were canceled.
36 share.
Yeah.
I don't know how commercial radio, TV, survives these days.
I cannot this. You saw that NBC let Lester Holt go, or Lester Holt's retiring. So I think TV is going kind of along the lines of what terrestrial radio has gone, and that is let's get rid of the real talent because we can pay these fucking these stooges pennies on the dollar, and the $15-20 million Lester Holtz and Nora Donaldson, all that kind of gone because we can get under the. I don't know if I don't know if DEI is still a thing in network television, but I'm thinking that it probably is.
Probably. Yeah, I would assume.
The 6 o'clock evening news doesn't mean shit nowadays compared to when we were growing. Remember, we were growing up and our dad would like, man, motherfucker, we either had to have dinner before or after Walter Cronkite because Pops had to hear the fucking 6 o'clock news.
And what they said was gospel, man. You didn't question that.
No.
You didn't question it. Now you look at what they pass off as news, and you don't believe one fucking word coming out of their yaps.
Or you have to, if you do believe it, you have to research it to see if it's true. And remember back in the day when there was actually some decorum where they would actually take care of the president, like they didn't show John F. K. fucking the hose, JFK, and they didn't show, Richard Nixon smoking a heater or anything like that. Like they were like, we want the president to look presidential. Right. Now, man, they can't bust you fucking fast enough. You know what I'm saying?
And it's talk about decorum. Just the other day, there's Trump's speech.
Oh, I know.
Al Green gets up and he starts yelling, and then the other Democrats, the women, are there with their dumb signs and they're yelling shit at him. It's like, what the fuck happened? There is no sense of decorum or respect.
I talked about that on my show, and I said, I don't give a fuck what side of the aisle you are on. Mm-hmm. This has to be the first time that the opposition, the losers, if you will, the ones that guy didn't make it to the big chair. This has to be the first time that they've actually used props to try to be about them. Look at us. Look at us. Look at our little fucking signs. Look at my little dry eraser board. Look at my bullshit. Now,
I don't really have a problem with the signs. I know Bubba Bubba has a problem with the signs on this level where he thinks that he was saying it, he thought it was distracting and whatever the fuck, petty, and took away from the decorum or whatever. I am more so I'm like split between him and Seth. We're sort of arguing over this, and I sort of agree with Zeth, that I mean, what is the difference between you're holding up a sign and every other time when Biden was in there, the Republicans would be booing and whatever, and they all resorted to booing before. And now they just adopted using signs now and having everybody can get a little photo op holding their little sign up. And I don't have a problem with it on the level of being a distraction or something. I don't think it's any worse than booing. I just think it looks pathetic. It's a bad look. That's literally where my criticism stops. It's just like, you look like retarded children. Okay.
Marjorie Taylor and other people were like, well, they booed. And okay, booing has been around since probably the fucking cavemans. Okay. So booing is a natural act that we all have done, whether it's baseball or the fucking congressional hearings. But to have signs and to have a magic erase board, what the fuck have we turned into?
And by the way, the booing was during when the other side was applauding. There was a time they even knew to boo in the right places. Right. It wasn't in the middle, everything is silent except for the president giving his speech and someone goes, boo. There was a guy, a Republican, that got in trouble for going, you lie, yelled that out to Obama back in 2009, I think it was. And he was chastised and censured. And they were like, oh, and he had to apologize just for yelling, you lie, to Obama during his speech. And now, Al Green's up there with his cane yelling. The speaker is banging his gavel saying, leave or the sergeant at arms is going to take you out. We've never seen such disrespect for the chamber.
And didn't Al Green president with that cane and
No, that was retarded. All right, guys, it's late and my laptop is actually about to fucking die. We got through the most of this. There's more in here, but they're kind of going over, topics, news topics and shit. I was kind of more clicking on this to see what they would get into in reference to the firing and the new show and stuff. But yeah, fucking it was a good interview. Bubba, I like listening to Bubba reminisce with radio people. It seems fun. Sounds like they really do have good memories of being shock jocks. Really, really fucking cool, authentic era of entertainment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve. I got to get the fuck out of here. We've been on here 2.5 hours. Actually, just now, 2.5 hours. So anyway, good times. Tomorrow night, we will see what the fuck. I do have different topics and stuff we can get into. If Bubba isn't live with Tim Pool, I think he's supposed to be live. I don't know if it's a pre-recorded thing. Again, I don't follow Tim Pool enough to know what the protocol is supposed to be for Bubba tomorrow night and what. I don't know Tim's schedule like that and stuff. Well, Holyoke Joe, you're saying the interview was too long. It was long, but I mean, they're reminiscing and shit. These are two fucking kings here of radio content. But yeah, we'll see what we get into tomorrow night, guys. Fucking, we might be stream sniping Tim Pool with not the interview. What are you saying is too long, my cock? Okay, good night, Jolly Holly. Yeah, we'll see. If he's live with Tim Pool, we might try to stream some of that on here and watch it live together. If not, I'll review it the next day or something like that. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, lovers. I will see you tomorrow night. Should be on by 8 o'clock or so, unless there's a chance maybe I'll change the schedule up depending on when Tim Pool goes live. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, just fucking stay in the loop. Oh, 2.5 hours, you're saying, for my stream? No, yeah, we get long-winded on here when it's a debate review or something. I thought there was going to be a little bit more juicy stuff with this, because I really did not know what Anthony got in trouble for. But it was this is a good interview, seeing some of the behind the scenes shit, learning how the sausage is made, the radio sausage. All right, guys. See you all later, Big E. Thank you, guys. Everybody, thank you for the support. Please hit the like button and help your boy out. Subscribe. We put in work on here 5 nights a week, slutting it up. So, yeah. Love ya. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, shit. Here we go.